Namaste. Welcome to Zeel Astrology, your go-to channel for all things Vedic astrology. Now, Venus entered its exaltation sign Pisces on January 28, where it has come into conjunction with Rahu. Normally, Venus stays in one sign for about a month, but this time it is moving much more slowly, and will remain in Pisces for nearly 4 months until May 31. During this period, Venus will also go retrograde from March 2 to April 13, making this transit even more significant. Now, what makes this time especially important is that during Venus's retrograde, debilitated Mercury, Saturn, and Sun will also enter Pisces, creating a planetary chaos and an important period that will bring a lot of changes and turbulence in this sign. However, today I will be talking only about Venus until it goes retrograde, that is until March 2. I will make a separate video for Venus in retrograde motion, because when Venus turns retrograde on March 2, things will shift due to planetary movements as mentioned earlier, and that will change the dynamics of this transit, bringing a different energy compared to what we were experiencing or what we are experiencing now. That's why I will cover the retrograde phase separately in another video. And before I dive further into the discussion, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you do not miss any updates on my channel. Like and share our videos with your friends and family. You can also follow me on Instagram as well, and to book a consultation with me, just drop me an email. All the links are provided in the description box below. Now, Venus is transiting Pisces along with Rahu. And there's an exchange happening between Venus and Jupiter, because Jupiter is currently in Taurus. One important thing to understand here is that Rahu has a tendency to amplify the energies of the planet it is with, especially the negative aspects of that particular planet. So when Rahu is with Venus, it can magnify Venus's negative traits such as excessive indulgence in luxury and materialistic desires. And remember, this isn't just any Venus, it's exalted Venus, which means its influence is even stronger. Because of this, people may develop an intense craving for material wealth and luxury, sometimes to the extent of using any means, even unethical ones, to achieve their desires. It can also increase feelings of overindulgence. This is because Pisces represents an ocean, and the ocean is filled with treasures and gems. One of the key significations of Venus is luxury, material success, and pleasures. So with Rahu's influence, the desire for wealth and material gains can become overwhelming. On the other hand, Venus also represents love, deep emotions, and compassion. However, in this combination, those energies might be overshadowed, leading to an increase in lustful tendencies. With Venus in Pisces alongside Rahu, there's also a downside to this transit. It can trigger unhealthy habits like excessive drinking, smoking, or drug use. People might feel drawn toward an illusionary world, finding it more appealing than reality. This can make them want to escape from their problems rather than facing them. On a positive note, the combination of Venus and Rahu in Pisces is wonderful for artistic expression. It's especially beneficial for people in creative fields or any profession that involves beauty, aesthetics, or innovation. This transit brings out-of-the-box ideas, making it an excellent time for artists. Also for designers, writers, fictional writers, especially musicians, and anyone working with creativity. Keep in mind that Venus and Rahu will be in close conjunction until February 6. So during this time, the qualities I mentioned earlier, both the positive and negative, will be strongly felt. Another important thing to note is that since Jupiter is in Taurus, it forms an exchange with Venus in Pisces, as I said earlier. This means Jupiter also becomes directly involved in this transit. So here Rahu's influence extends to Jupiter as well. While Jupiter represents wisdom and guidance, This placement in Taurus, a sign associated with wealth and material security, can make even the wisest people chase material success. This is why it's crucial to stay mindful and not get carried away by temporary desires. This period can also lead to an increase in scams, especially from fake gurus or spiritual figures who mislead others. Since Venus is exchanging signs with Jupiter, Jupiter's influence is involved in this transit. Because Jupiter represents wisdom and guidance, its connection here can make people more vulnerable to deception, especially in spiritual matters. Many may fall into the trap of following false teachers or being misled by those who promise unrealistic things. Now, Venus, Jupiter, and Pisces all have a strong connection to spirituality, and this transit has the potential to deepen one's spiritual awareness on a positive side. Remember, Pisces represents the vast ocean, Shri Sagar, where Lord Mahavishnu resides with Mata Mahalakshmi. True and pure wealth, both material and spiritual, only stays where dharma, that is righteousness, exists. So rather than using this transit to pursue material gains in unethical ways, it's better to align with its higher energy by focusing on spiritual growth and ethical actions. If not, then once Saturn enters Pisces on March 29, it will take matters into its own hands. Saturn has a way of breaking illusions and setting things right. And that process might not be easy for those who have taken shortcuts or acted dishonestly. The best way to navigate this transit is to stay on the path of righteousness and spirituality. And when Saturn enters Pisces, some of these illusions may start to break, and scams related to fake gurus or intoxicating substances might also come to light. Saturn has a way of revealing hidden truths in its own way, as said earlier. So whatever has been built on deception may start to unravel during this time. Now, who will be the most impacted by this transit? This transit will have a stronger impact on people with their moon in Pisces or those who have Rahu or Venus in Pisces. It will also influence Sagittarius, Pisces, Taurus, Libra, Ascendants, and moon signs. People with Rahu moon conjunction, Venus Rahu, or Rahu Jupiter conjunctions in their chart will feel this transit even more deeply. For remedial measures, as always, there's only one deity who can truly control the Maya of Rahu, and that is Lord Mahavishnu. Chanting Vishnu Sahasranam will be very beneficial and important for everyone during this time. It's, if possible, also recite Sudarshan Kavach. Simply chanting Om Namo Narayana will also be very helpful and as powerful. Whenever you feel that you are getting caught up in the illusions of Rahu and drawn too deeply into material desires, chant this mantra. This will bring balance to your mind and emotions, keeping you grounded and protected from unnecessary distractions. Now let's look at how this transit will affect each ascendant, starting with Aries. Aries ascendant. For Aries natives, Venus is transiting your 12th house, Pisces, where Rahu is already positioned. This makes it very important to be mindful of your spendings. You might feel the urge to spend on luxury items or unnecessary things. So it's best to be wise with your finances. Since Venus is your 7th lord and is placed in the 12th house with Rahu, there could be some confusion or illusions in your marriage. Your partner's health may also need some attention during this time, so be mindful of that. And if you are unmarried and looking for a partner, be cautious. Don't rush into a relationship with someone you don't know well, because this transit can create illusions about a potential partner. Once this transit is over, you might realize that the person isn't what they initially seem to be. So take care in that part. On a positive side, this transit could bring opportunities for foreign travel, especially for higher studies or a trip with your partner if your chart supports it. However, it's best to avoid intoxicants as much as possible. Also, be careful not to get influenced by fake gurus or misleading spiritual guidance. It's very important to stay ethical in your actions because this transit can create situations where you might be tempted to take shortcuts for financial or personal gains. Be honest with your partner and in your dealings with others. There could also be minor disagreements with family, so try to remain patient and speak with kindness and respect. For those in business, extra caution is needed with documentation and paperwork. While this can be a favorable period for businesses connected to foreign lands such as import, export, or similar fields, it's important to stay alert and ensure everything is legally and properly documented. For those into creative and artistic fields, this is an excellent period for enhancing your skills where you can get out of the box ideas for your work. So use this time to enhance your skills and improve your career. Taurus ascendants. For Taurus natives, Venus is transiting your 11th house in Pisces, where Rahu is already positioned. This is a period where you need to be extra careful with debts and financial decisions. Avoid taking unnecessary loans or overusing credit cards, as Rahu's influence can create illusions, making you feel like you can handle more than you actually can. Once Venus moves into Aries after May, you might look back and realize you have taken on more financial burden than expected. And since Venus rules your 6th house and is transiting 11th house, be mindful of your interactions in social circles with elder siblings and with friends as well, as misunderstandings or conflicts could arise. However, this is a highly creative period for those in artistic field, those who are in writing or design fields, as it can bring unique and out of the box ideas. At the same time, Rahu's conjunction with your ascendant lord means you need to stay alert to potential frauds or deception, especially from people in your social circle. Financially, this period may bring gains, but it is important to remain cautious and avoid being overly driven by material success. If you become too focused on wealth, it could lead to an endless cycle of wanting more, even when you already have enough. This transit can also push you to prioritize your professional life over your personal life. So maintaining balance is crucial, not just between work and personal matters, but also in your spiritual journey as well. For those involved in social media networking or similar fields, this period can be beneficial. However, be wary of financial frauds, especially online scams. On a lighter note, if you have been thinking of changing your appearance, like new hairstyle or a makeover, Rahu's influence can help bring that transformation. Gemini ascendants. For Gemini natives, Venus will be transiting your 10th house where Rahu is already positioned. This period calls for careful career decisions. It's a good time for those thinking about moving to foreign lands, either for work or for higher studies. And it's also a good period if your children want to go to foreign lands for their career or studies. However, be cautious about job scams. Say, for example, if anyone asks for money to secure a job for you, it could be a fraud, where there can be loss of money because of such frauds in the career path. This transit may also make you more focused on your career, which could cause some tension with your family, especially your children. You might feel neglected, so try to give some of your time to your family. And it's also important to stay ethical in your professional life and not resort to shortcuts or unethical means to advance in your career, as this could damage your reputation or social standing. Venus and Rahu together can create an illusion, making you believe that the career path or decisions you are making are entirely right. But it's important to be cautious. I recommend staying on the path of righteousness, avoiding major career moves during this time, and not being swayed by the allure of quick material gains. If you stay true to your values and avoid Rahu's influence, you could earn respect and recognition in your professional life. Try to focus on spiritual practices and maintain balance in your personal and professional life. Also, be careful when it comes to love relationships during this period, as Venus, your fifth lord, is in the sixth house from Libra and in conjunction with Rahu. It could lead to complications in relationships. Cancer ascendants. For Cancer natives, Venus will be transiting your ninth house alongside Rahu in the sign of Pisces. This is an important period for as Venus, your 11th lord, is in the ninth house, which can tempt you to use unethical means to achieve your desires, particularly regarding financial goals. You might be tempted to stray from the path of dharma, thinking that bending the rules is acceptable, especially when others might be doing the same. It's crucial to resist such thinking and stay committed to ethical practices. On the positive side, if this energy plays out favorably in your chart, the exchange between Venus and Jupiter can bring opportunities for spiritual growth. Rahu in the ninth house could lead to significant gains in spiritual knowledge, and this period could deepen your understanding of spirituality. However, on a negative side, there's a risk of using this knowledge, whether spiritual or any other knowledge, for your personal gain, which would stray into unethical territory. So be mindful of this temptation. Also be cautious of falling for fake gurus during this time. While Venus is in the ninth house, it can also bring gains from your father, whether monetary, spiritual, or in terms of wisdom. But it's also important to remain grounded and avoid using your connections or knowledge for self-serving purposes. During this period, there might also be gains from your father or your family support, but watch out for your mother's health. You may find opportunities for spiritual or long-distance travel, possibly with your family. This is an excellent time for gaining knowledge, especially for those pursuing higher studies. It's also a great period to upgrade your skills or learn new ones. So make the most of it. Leo ascendants. For Leo natives, Venus will be transiting your 8th house, where Rahu is already positioned. Venus is your 10th and your 3rd lord, and this placement in the 8th house could bring some ups and downs in your career path. Your willpower and decision-making ability may be challenged, and there's a risk of neglecting your health due to work pressures. It's important to avoid overexerting yourself and to address any health issues that arise during this time. This period can also create illusions in your career. For example, you might think that quitting your current job will bring better growth elsewhere, but it is crucial to make sure you have a solid offer before leaving your current position. Similarly, you might feel that changing your field entirely will be more beneficial, but it's advisable to avoid impulsive decisions and carefully consider all options before making any career moves. You may also experience some ups and downs with your younger siblings and neighbors, possibly noticing a shift in your relationships with them. It's important to pay attention to your siblings' health as well. Avoid any sort of intoxications during this time and be cautious of scams, particularly in relation to job frauds. On a positive note, this is a favorable time for individuals in professions such as criminology, astrology, psychology, counseling, insurance, financial sector, research, investigations, healing, risk management, and the arts, where deep emotional or creative expression is required. However, it's not a good period for investing in stock market, as risk may be higher during this time. Virgo ascendants. For Virgo natives, Venus will be transiting your 7th house, where Rahu is already positioned. This could be A significant period for those who are unmarried, as you may meet a potential future spouse here. However, it's essential not to rush into things. Take your time to really understand your partner before finalizing any commitment, as Rahu can create illusions about around marriage opportunities. After the transit is over, you may realize that the person you thought you knew is not exactly as they appeared. For those in business, new financial opportunities or creative out of the box ideas may come your way. However, be careful with when implementing these ideas, especially regarding business documentation. While luck may favor you in your business dealings, it's important to remain diplomatic and practical in your public communication, as your second lord with Rahu can make you more direct or even harsh in public settings. For married couples, Venus transit could bring challenges in your family life. So be cautious and humble in your interaction with family members. It's also crucial to maintain ethics and integrity, especially when it comes to wealth or business dealings. This period is favorable for those in counseling, relationship coaching, legal professions, diplomacy, public relations, or communication. If you are business sector like event planning or wedding coordination, this is an excellent time. Social work or relationship counseling are also highlighted as strong areas during this transit. Libra ascendants. Now for Libra natals, Venus is transiting your 6th house, where Rahu is positioned. Venus, being your 8th and your 1st lord in this position with Rahu, can indicate challenges with health, especially for those with chronic health issues. Additionally, Ketu in your 12th house may exacerbate or add on to these health problems. It's important to be cautious about your health concerns during this time. And this transit can also tempt you to take on more debt or increase your credit. So it's crucial to be careful with credit card transactions or loans. Only take on what you can comfortably repay without causing yourself financial strain. The 6th house placement of Venus and Rahu can reveal hidden adversaries or enemies that you may need to confront yourself. However, this can ultimately help you overcome them. It's a favorable period for those preparing for competitive exams, but you may also experience issues or disputes within your maternal family. Professionally, this is a good period for those in law, healthcare services, HR, social work, veterinary doctors or veterinary medicine or similar related fields. Be very cautious with investments, especially in stock market. Make wise and careful decisions to avoid overindulgence. Scorpio ascendants. For Scorpio natals, Venus is transiting your 5th house, where Rahu is positioned. Venus, being your 12th house lord in the 5th house with Rahu, is not a favorable combination for speculative investments. If you are not careful, this could lead to significant losses, especially in risky financial ventures. Venus and Rahu together in the 5th house can also create opportunities for romantic relationships. But you need to be cautious of deception or dishonesty in relationships if things don't go positively for you as per your chart. On the flip side, if this transit goes positively, it can also bring spiritual growth. And Venus can be supportive if you decide to engage in mantra chanting. Even though Rahu might not naturally incline you towards spirituality, it can also lead to unorthodox forms of spirituality. This period can bring fresh creative ideas and out of the box thinking, especially for those in business or artistic fields. It's an excellent time for individuals in education sector, teaching field, creative arts, performing arts, entertainment, or industries related to children. Fields such as relationship therapy, matchmaking, or gynecology will also work well here. Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius natives, Venus is transiting your 4th house where Rahu is positioned in the sign of Pisces. This combination can create minor health issues for your mother. So it's important to be cautious and attentive to her well-being during this time. However, there is a Parivartan Yoga between Venus and Jupiter, which could provide some beneficial guidance and opportunities. For instance, you may have a chance to gain a house or property during this time, but be very careful with the documentation work and avoid blindly trusting others in such matters. It's also a good time for purchasing assets, but again, ensure that everything is handled with due diligence. Financially, this is a favorable period. However, be cautious with your desires as Rahu can amplify them. This could lead to excessive longing or ambition. Additionally, this period may bring disputes at home or related to property. So it's important to stay calm and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Make sure to use ethical means to achieve your goals. If this transit has negative influences in your chart, it could lead you to misuse family knowledge or resources for personal gains, which is something to avoid at all cost. Because Saturn will soon enter the sign of Pisces on March end, and it won't appreciate such unethical behaviors. It's a good period for those involved in real estate or asset-related factors such as property management, estate management, interior designing, and home decor. Additionally, individuals who are running home-based businesses or working from home, like freelancing, writing, or online ventures, can find success during this time. The energies are favorable for creative and independent work. It's also an excellent period for those engaged in social work, provided they approach it ethically and without seeking popularity or profit. The focus should be on genuine service to others, which will lead to fulfilling results. This transit can provide stability and growth in these areas as long as one maintains integrity and focus on righteous methods. Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn natives, Venus is transiting your 3rd house where Rahu is positioned. Venus, as the ruler of your 5th and 10th house, brings a lot of focus on your career and creative expression during this time. However, the presence of Rahu can push you to seek quick gains or shortcuts in your career. This could lead you to desire immediate results, but it's crucial to avoid any unethical methods or shortcuts. Rahu has a tendency to encourage such temptations, and it is important to stay grounded and wise in your decisions. During this transit, there may be dissatisfaction in your career as Rahu can create illusions about what you desire or how your career path should look. You might feel that your career is not progressing the way you had hoped, but it's essential not to fall for Rahu's illusions and to maintain a realistic view. At the same time, Venus and Rahu in the 3rd house can offer the necessary courage and energy to initiate new projects or take bold steps in your professional life. But again, avoid taking shortcuts as they may not lead to positive results. They may only lead to temporary satisfaction and potentially bigger setbacks later on. If you stay ethical and avoid unethical paths, your hard work will eventually pay off. Your desires, if valid and pursued with integrity, will be fulfilled by Saturn in the long run. Aquarius ascendant. For Aquarius natives, Venus is transiting your 2nd house where Rahu is already positioned. This brings a focus on your finances as Venus is the ruler of your 4th and your 9th house, both of which are connected to your home life and luck. Financially, this can be a positive period with potential gains, but caution is needed. Rahu's influence can tempt you to seek shortcuts or unethical means to achieve financial success. It's essential to avoid such temptations as they can lead to long-term negative consequences once Rahu's influence fades after May 2025. You might also feel drawn to take journeys, particularly spiritual ones, with your family during this time. It's a good period for gaining spiritual wisdom, but it's also important to be careful with your financial decisions and save as much as you can. And since Rahu is influencing your Dharma Lord, that is Venus, it's crucial to stay on the righteous path when it comes to making money. Rahu can create illusions that you can generate wealth through unconventional methods, but this can backfire once Saturn enters your second house. Stick to ethical practices to ensure long-term financial stability. Additionally, be mindful of your mother's health during this time. This period can be beneficial for those working in financial sector, in those who are in nutrition or food-related sectors or businesses, or those who are in agriculture or creative fields. However, be extra cautious regarding your parents' health, especially your mother. Pisces Ascendant. For Pisces natives, Venus is transiting your first house, where Rahu is already positioned, making it a very significant period for you. Venus rules your 8th and 3rd house, which brings attention to both health and communication. With Rahu in your 1st house, this transit can amplify health issues, particularly for those dealing with chronic conditions. Be cautious about your health and avoid overexertion. This is also not an ideal period for speculative investments, so be extremely careful with your financial decisions. Rahu's influence in the 1st house can inflate your ego, but Venus as the 8th lord has the potential to bring situations that could break that ego, potentially leading to insults, particularly in your career or from siblings. It's crucial to stay humble and grounded during this time. There may be sudden gains or losses during this period, depending on your chart. Later on, this transit, along with the future joining of Saturn and retrograde movement of Mercury and Sun in the same sign of Pisces, will create a tense atmosphere in your 1st house, which can feel like a war zone. This makes the period until the end of May very important for you. It's essential to follow the path of righteousness, stick to ethical methods, and avoid seeking shortcuts to fulfill your desires. Resist the temptation to show off or indulge in excessive desires. Avoid intoxication and stay away from harmful habits such as smoking or drinking to maintain good health. This is a critical time for you to stay true to your principles, as your health and overall well-being can be affected by these planetary influence. So that's it for today. I hope you like our video, and do not forget to like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Until then, namaste.